Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I want to give my thoughts of the Nintendo Direct that happened on September 12, 2025. Now, as expected, the reason it's 1 hour is, yeah, to no surprise, they also included the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. Kind of makes sense to some extent. So most people thought it was going to be, it's going to be a lot of Switch 1 and Switch 2. It's going to be hype. It's a super major Direct. Sadly, to some extent, it's another, I would say, above mediocre presentation. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's just above good. The same as the partner showcase that happened on July. It is what it is. They did mention some games, new games from first party game, reveal dates for certain games, and they're still supporting the Switch 1 to some extent there. So props to Nintendo. So with that said, I want to give my thoughts of the Nintendo Direct. So normally I would talk about games that was announced that's a Japanese exclusive to some extent, but this time around for whatever reason, there's nothing. Their seasonal reel are already games that's been announced that's going to be worldwide. However, there is one game that was not mentioned in the US Nintendo Direct, but it was mentioned in the Japanese one, and I was hoping would this happen, and granted, it did happen, and that is MEGAM Starforce Legacy Collection. I was hoping they're going to do this, and of course, no surprise, they did. And the reason why I said that is, if you didn't know, when Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection came out, the first launch, believe it or not, it sold a lot. People wanted it. I wanted it. I bought it for $50. Yes, granted $60. By the time of this recording, it's now $20. Now it kind of makes sense why that this game is $20 on Amazon to some extent. Is that in 2026, they are going to release Mega Man Starforce Legacy Collection. Those are sort of a sequel to the Battle Network on the DS. I played one of them. It's fun for what it is. There was also an anime. Unfortunately, they never finished it. It is what it is. I mean, even if they're trying to show it, it's probably going to, 13 episodes? So it's really a nothing burger. It would be nice if Capcom team up with someone and remaster those Mega Man Battle Network / Starforce anime, but it is what it is there. So nothing really much in the Japanese side. From what I understand, it's all identical. So with that said, let's start with the US side. Of course, celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Super Mario Brothers franchise. We started out with Miyamoto and just talking about the third pillar. So it's a non-video game interaction. Yeah, there's also, if you didn't know, in Japan, they already released the My Mario, which is Mario interaction non-video game for toddlers. They are also going to come out in the West in 2026. One of them is a wood block that has an Amiibo feature. Am I going to get it? Probably not, because from what I understand, it costs like more than $100, but it is what it is. So I might give my thoughts about that, what does it mean, and what's with this third pillar they're pushing. And probably I'll even talk about the third pillar to some extent, but I'm still thinking about it. So first of all, they announced that in the museum, they're going to do some gallery based on the Super Mario Brothers franchise. Also, they announced that in Florida in 2026, Super Mario World is finally done. So if you didn't know, it was first in Japan, and then in California. Now it's going to be in Florida. It is what it is there. And then also a teaser trailer for the next Super Mario Brothers movie titled The Super Mario Galaxy Movie. So to some extent, it is going to be about Super Mario Galaxy, because then you think about, what about the games? So since they're promoting something about Galaxy, so in the game side, they finally revealed that Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 will be on the Switch. Not Switch 2, yes, Switch. So to some extent, they are re-releasing the first Mario Galaxy, because if you didn't know, in the 35th anniversary, it was released. Granted, the physical release was only temporary, even the digital one. But yes, they are going to be releasing this early October, surprisingly. So not enough time. And chances are, they're probably not going to make a lot, but I don't think it's going to be a time limit like they did with the Super Mario 3D collection. To some extent, I think what's going to happen, it's just going to be hard to get a physical one, because that's what happened with Metroid Prime Remastered. But in the long run, it was easy to get. I even got it for $30, I know. But yes, so Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 will be on the Switch, and it will be improved in the Switch 2 with the 4K, better performance from what I understand. Plus, and one of my predictions was right, and I'm surprised they're still doing it, even so the price of an Amiibo are crazy. But they also announced that there will be a Super Mario Galaxy Amiibo. So there's going to be Mario and Luma, and then Rosalina and Lumas. But they're not going to come out until April 2nd, 2026. but each one of them got revealed that they are $40. To some extent, I kind of see why they want that price. It is more than just a figure. There's like a base, there's Luma, a figure, and then Mario. When it comes to Rosalina, she's sitting on a chair with 2 Lumas. Again, material. They don't want Amiibo to be a fixed price. They wanted variable pricing. It is what it is. Hopefully, just like the Street Fighter 6 Amiibo as well with the Tears of the Kingdom Sages, maybe at one point they're going to be again $20 because nobody's buying them. But we'll just have to wait and see. But beside that, there is also more Mario stuff. Mario Tennis Fever, so a new Mario Tennis made by Camelot. It's going to come out in February 2026. And then Super Mario Brothers Wonder will have a Switch 2 edition. And what they show right now was a multiplayer section. So it's kind of like Jamboree. It's like new features. So this was not more of a level. It's more of there's a multiplayer mode. I guess if you could play it online, it should be fine. However, they did say that for Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition, there will be more content on the base game. They revealed some features such as the Koopalings are back, as well as Captain Toad and his treasure trackers. But that's it. And this game's not going to come out until, again, April 2026. Yeah, if you notice a lot of this thing, it's going to be April 2026 because they're trying to conjunct it with the Mario movie, which is going to come out in April of 2026. So that's why. But they did something new for the Mario anniversary, and that is Yoshi and the Mystery Book. It's one of those Young Yoshi, Yoshi DS, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, that type of series. So this is the latest one. This time, Yoshi somehow ended up going to a book trying to fix this book because the book somehow there's a problem. It's a kiddie story. It's meant for kids. They're not really that hard to some extent, except for Yoshi DS. That was a pain in the butt, but it's a different story there. But yeah, so these are the Yoshi series. And to some extent, I don't know what the timeline is, but you know what? Don't think about it. Just like little Pauline in Donkey Kong Bananza. So from there, they're moving on from the Super Mario Brothers anniversary to the actual General Direct. And sadly to say, not really excited to some extent. No big surprises like, oh, finally, more info and like some of this game. Okay, fine. It's on the Switch too. Kudos. So starting with Storm Lancer. It's a 2D action game that it's all about co-op because you can do co-op moves, and if you do it, you get an advantage. Looks interesting to some extent, but just have to wait and see. Tomodachi, they show more about it. They talk about it, of course. At least they're still acknowledging me because you can put your me in the game. Hopefully, easy me integration, not like you have to create it from scratch. But I doubt that because if Metopia can do it, you probably can do it with Tomodachi. That wouldn't be a problem. It's going to come out also spring of 2026. And then more info about Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. They finally revealed the release date. Digital is going to be October. Physical is going to be December. And like I said in a different video, the game will be $50 unless you buy it on the Switch too, because it's a full game card. It's going to be $60. And if you want to know the game, they already released it. I already gave my thoughts about it. Take it what it is. Yeah, there was a bit of controversy to some extent. But Digital Eclipse said the reason is if we could, we would. Legality to some extent. And sometimes just technology is not that easy. But at least, hey, there's a lot of games. You should be happy about it. I mean, just wait for Legacy Collection 2. If this one sells good, they might consider doing a sequel. Just saying. But we'll just have to wait and see. And then finally, a date for Final Fantasy VII Remake Integration. It's going to come out in January 22nd, 2026. Yeah, so originally it was 2025, but I guess they pushed it back. And as expected, the game runs in 30 frames. Looks like it. I could be wrong. Just have to wait and see. But I think they did say in the social media that it is running in 30 frames. It is what it is. What can you do? I mean, if it's just powerful as PS4 Pro, then that should be a concern. Because I thought it's going to be as powerful as a Series S. That's what people said. But wait and see. Wait and see. Because if you follow about the dev kit situation, apparently there's some controversy. But it is what it is there. And then Hades 2, they show more about it. Yes, it is going to be a console exclusive. It'll be on the Switch in 2025. And I'm guessing that for the other console, it's going to be 2026. I mean, it is what it is. I played the first game. It's fun for what it is, but it's not really sticking to me. So more info about Kirby Air Ride. As first, they announced that there will be a second Kirby Air Ride Direct with Masahiro Sakurai. So, you know that guy, he loves what he does and he talks a lot about his game. I mean, imagine doing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch 2 Edition. That'll be funny, but that'll be a long time. It's going to be a long shot, I doubt it. But to some extent, I wouldn't be surprised. But speaking of Kirby Air Ride, not only is it direct, they also announced there will be Amiibo for this game, and there will be swappable Amiibo, because what it is it's going to be a Warp Star, I'm going to call that, and a figure, and you can swap them, and if you swap them and scan them, it's going to be whatever the figure is, that's going to be the configuration in the game. Yes, it does sound like Starlink, or to some extent, Skylander Swap Force. When you use the Swap Force Skylander, you switch them around, you know what happens. So it is what it is. Sadly, these are $50, so $20 a piece, because again, it's two figure. Plus, there's some sort of like technology that's not in the other Amiibo. But again, wait and see. Maybe there'll be a sale in the long run. But oh my goodness, I'm just getting lucky right now because there's having sales. Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter 6 Amiibo, $20 on GameStop. As of run of this recording, from what I understand, it's still $20. So it's kind of telling you there's something wrong there. So you might say, well, why they keep putting this price? They probably already said it. It is what it is. There's a lot of legality, some procedure. You can't just change it in the fly. But maybe in the long run, they'll look at it, what's going to happen. Or the sad part is, they might just say, we're doing Amiibo because nobody's buying them. But that's a different story there. And then Zelda Age of Imprisonment is going to come out on November 6, 2025. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to reveal one Amiibo for this one, that Golem Sage thing, I don't know. But to some extent, it is a Musou game. Gives you the story of what happened when Zelda went back in time, but still, it's a Musou game. Out of nowhere is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. So it's a remake again of Dragon Quest VII. Why? Who knows? But I can explain that later. But to some extent, at least this was going to be multi-platform, so I like it. I might get it again. I played the PlayStation 1, never really finished it. I bought the 3DS one, played it for 5 minutes, and never came back to it. So maybe 60 frame, better graphic, 4K, PlayStation 5 trophies. And you might say, why Dragon Quest VII? That's so weird. Because if you didn't know, for Dragon Quest history, especially in Japan, 7 was the best-selling Dragon Quest ever, to a point that Japanese employee decided to take a break or a sick leave to get this game. And not only that, because there was so much demand that the Japanese Dragon fans fought for it. Believe it or not, they fought for the game on the PlayStation 1. That was crazy. That chaos basically sales, and people like it. People love it. And again, according to Square Enix, that Dragon Quest VII, as of right now, is the top-selling Dragon Quest game ever in Japan. Worldwide, that's a different story there. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. I might consider it. So you have to play Dragon Quest 3 HD, 2D, but whatever. So moving from that one is, this is the one I said in my prediction that they're going to do something weird and they're going to patent it and they're going to move forward with it. Well, guess what? They did. I predicted that there's going to be something weird. At the same time, I also predicted there's going to be something new they're going to announce for the Nintendo Classic app. And they did. And that is Virtual Boy Nintendo Classic. Yeah, they are going to come out in February 17, 2026. You have to have the expansion pack, I know, for Virtual Boy. So all those 3 people who are excited, there you go. Maybe not. But yeah, so to some extent, the library for the Virtual Boy is not going to be that a lot, especially. Maybe also they can bring out Nestor's Bowling. Bring back Nestor at least, represent. Different story there. But yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, oh my gosh, what the fuck? Really? Virtual Boy Nintendo Classic. Yeah, weird. So if you're excited, good for you. Downside is, you cannot play it as it is. You have to buy a peripheral. So they showed a peripheral that's actually Virtual Boy, not a controller, just a goggle. It's not even strapped, so it's going to be like the Virtual Boy that released in 1995. And you have to put your Switch or Switch 2, and that's how you play your Virtual Boy game. And it's going to cost you $100. It's so stupid, but wow. Or you can get a $25 Labo goggles that also compatible with the Switch 2. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's weird. Oh my gosh. Like, why? I mean, I know it's funny. People talk about it. It would be funny, but I didn't think they actually do it. At first, I thought it was an April Fool joke, an off-season April Fool joke, just like the red shirt guy. But no, this is not a April Fool joke. It's for real. So I'm gonna plan to talk more about this because there is a big significance about the virtual board. There is a history behind it, something that's very impactful to something that it also contributed a legendary inventor, the father of the Game Boy or the Nintendo Mobile, because without Gunpei Yokoi, there wouldn't be Game Boy or to some extent a Switch or the able to play a game in a mobile state, play it anywhere, you know what I mean. I'm going to talk about that in a different video, but yeah, Virtual Boy Nintendo Classic, going to come out in 2026. I don't know why. One Piece Warrior 4 will have a Switch 2 edition. Not only that, it's also confirmed that it's going to be in the Series X, PlayStation 5, and Steam. Better graphics, better resolution. Too bad still sub, so I don't think they're going to dub this game. Yeah, they are adding new characters and new story from what I understand. They're even putting some from One Piece Red. And I think to some extent also the beginning of Egghead, but I don't know about that one. But hey, why make a new game if you can just improve the old one? Makes sense, right? And then Power Wash Simulator 2, they showed the gameplay. It's the same as the first one, it's a sequel. So there will be a Switch 2 edition. And of course, if it's Square Enix, Reboot and Awakening, it's going to be multi-platform. So it is what it is there. I played the first game on Game Pass. You watch stuff. I mean, it is what it is. Why not just do it in real life? I don't know. It's just one of those weird things that when it's a video game, it's fun. But when you do it in real life, it's like, hey, it's weird. Not touching that. A bit info about Metroid Prime 4. So they showed that Samus can ride a bike. Not only that, they also announced that there will be Amiibo. There will be 3 Amiibo. 2 of them are $30 and the other one's $40 because it's going to be Samus on a bike. What's the Amiibo feature for Metroid Prime 4? Who knows? They're probably going to talk about it more because the game's going to come out in December 2nd, 2025. So at least it is a 2025 release. But the question is, what's happening with Metroid Prime 2 and 3 Remastered? Are they going to release it before Metroid Prime 4? I think they will. You just have to wait and see. Maybe one in October, one in November. I mean, it is what it is. Just be patient about it. But yeah, finally, the game has the release date. It's going to be in December 2nd, 2025. So it's a 2025 release. People believe it was 2026 because what's that game for September, which I'm going to talk about that next. But nah, it'll be 2025 in December. So speaking of a September game, they finally reveal what it is. And it's not really a game. It's DLC for Donkey Kong Bananza. And what it is for $20, you go to DK Island. And apparently there's something about the DK Island. But also, if you finish the game, there is a new mode called Emerald Rush, which is, I guess, some challenge mode. And you team up with Void Kong and get Emerald. But then there's some sort of like stipulation, whatever. But not only that, you can also play it on the main game. So there you go. But yeah. So if you're wondering what's your September game, there you go. Donkey Kong Bananza DLC. It is what it is there. And then Pokemon stuff. So first they reveal another new spin-off Pokemon called Pokemon Pokopia. Something like that. I have no idea. Okay. It is a Minecraft with Pokemon. So the premise is that you're a Ditto. Somehow you transform into a weird-looking human with weird powers because you're a Pokemon. My assumption is probably Ditto's evolution. That would be funny if it is. That would be funny. That would be awesome and funny. It's like human, goofy looking because you can tell by the face it's still a Ditto. So they probably based it on an anime if you remember. But the whole point is you went to this weird island and it was like shit. And then you gotta fix it up. Just like Minecraft. Dragon Quest Builder. Again, you find resource, you use it, you build it, you improve it. It's Minecraft. To some extent, it is what it is there. Okay, so with that said, more info about Pokemon ZA. So what it is that they revealed that your Kalos starter will also gonna have Mega Evolution, exclusive to the game right now. Of course, you can also probably do that in the next Pokemon game. And it is what it is. Kind of like when Pokemon Arceus Legend and then Scarlet Violet, you can bring Pokemon from that game to Scarlet Violet and it'll work. So same deal with this one. I know there's sort of a caveat from what I understand. They said that if you transfer Pokemon from the older one to ZA, you can't bring them back. So it is what it is, kind of weird. However, they did say that anything future for that game, so 10th gen Pokemon game, then yeah, it'll be a different story there. Color Starter will have Mega Evolution. Not only that, they also revealed DLC. So a bit of a dickish move, but a lot of people already did this. Announcing DLC before the game launches is not a good look. Not illegal, not unethical. It just makes you look bad. But there's nothing wrong with that. And they revealed that there's going to be, they call it Mega Vault Dimension. And it features Mega Raichu Y and Mega Raichu X. I know it's weird. And no, not the Hawaiian version, the normal version. What it is, it's unknown. However, the catch is that DLC is not even going to be operational until February 2026. But to some extent, the only reason is probably because of the stuff you also get, from what I understand. They said on social media that you'll get some stuff for free for DLC, that you can use it as soon as possible when the game launches. But for the story-wise, it's not going to come out until February 2026. But still, announcing a DLC before the game launch is not a good look to some extent. But it is what it is. I already pre-ordered mine, so I'm going to be playing with it. And of course, probably 2026 is going to be next gen or Gen 10. Just have to wait and see. And then Dandaronpa 2x2. I guess an improved version of the sequel. Hopefully it's multi-platform, but I don't know what the deal is. It just looks interesting. Dynasty Warrior Origins finally going to be in the Switch 2 with paid DLC. So I'm assuming it's just like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Okay, I mean, I heard a good thing. I played the demo, and it's again, to some extent, it is Dynasty Warrior Return to Form, so props to that one. And then Monster Hunter Story 3, they basically gave more info about the story. Apparently, things are getting petrified, and they have to figure it out. Are there going to be Amiibo? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But hey, at least it's multi-platform. Again, I like that one because I like my trophies. And then there's a sizzle reel. However, the only game that I was interested that they showed in the sizzle reel is Disgaea 7. However, I already have it on the PS5. So, I mean, this one at least has all the DLC in it. The only downside for some people is game keycard. Again, don't care, but it is what it is there. They also showed Virtua Fighter 5 R.E.V.O. World Stage. It's going to be also on the Switch. Coming, I guess, in December to some extent because the other version is going to be end of October. Persona 3 Reload. They also showed that on the sizzle reel. And there is a demo. And apparently the game, as expected, running in 30 frames. Unlike on the PS5, it runs in 60 frames. Again, is it a Series S or is it a Switch 4 Pro? Kind of confusing. Whatever. But there are some surprises with the Nintendo Direct. So closing with this are first, Resident Evil 9 Requiem will also be on the Switch too. So props on that one. Parity with the other console. But yes, the downside is, besides if it's going to be a game key card, I know, is that the game is running in 30 frames, so not 60 frames. I don't know why. Yeah, so it's running on 30 frames for the Switch 2 edition. And not only that, Resident Evil 7, 8 Gold Edition for both are also going to be in the Switch 2. But you might say, wait a minute, was it already out in the Switch? Yes, it was a cloud version, and it ran like ass because you have to rely on the internet. So if you have piss poor internet, then you know what happened there. So at least they're bringing it physically or able to download it on the Switch too. Makes sense. So they should really able to release also the older one. Unless they already been released, I have not followed in Resident Evil because I'm not a fan of them. I can play them. I do have some of them, but I'm not a fan, so I don't follow them. And ending with this is a new Fire Emblem. So I was surprised. I predicted it just other people. I was hoping for a remake, Fire Emblem 4, but no, it's a new Fire Emblem called Fire Emblem Fortune Weaves. From what I can tell, it's the same graphic as Three Houses. It might be a sequel to Three Houses, who knows, but yeah, it's probably the same people doing Three Houses to some extent, minus Tecmo Koei from what I understand. Could be wrong about it, we'll just have to wait and see. You know how Nintendo with their keeping a secret who developed the game, but again, doesn't really matter, no. Why is it a big deal for them to keep a secret? I don't know. They're dumbass or something. Whatever. But yeah, so it's going to come out in 2026. So a lot of these games are coming out in 2026. Makes sense because it's almost the end of the year. Start new, 2026 makes sense. Thoughts? I like it. It makes sense. Do you have first party and third party game? Was there any wow factor? To some extent, no. Because, I mean, if you basically say Virtual Boy, maybe, but to some extent there is no wow factor. It's like, oh cool, it's on the Switch 2, option is there. Finally, date for certain games, and as expected, some of them is going to be running at 30 frames. It is what it is. What can you do about it? Again, it is just a Switch Pro to some extent. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, should you really get a Switch 2? Okay, so for me personally, like I said, I didn't really get a Switch 2. A friend of mine got it for me when it first came out. The pre-order at April 19. Didn't tell me. Decided to get one of myself. And then I said, oh, wait, you bought me one? Oh, shit. Because I wasn't even asking him to get one. He just said, oh, well, I'll just get one. Like, why? Oh, because, why not? Whatever. And I returned mine. Like I said, I only have one Switch. I'm not going to have to because why? And of course, to some extent, tariff's going to be an impact. Then that's something you have to think about. Should I get it or should I wait? Maybe go down, maybe better option. But don't be shocked if Nintendo say, oh, yeah, we're going to have to raise the price of the Switch too. And oh, shit. It is what it is. But I don't know. But to some extent, there are some games on the Switch 2. If you focus on first-party game, there you go. Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Wonder, Mario Tennis, a new Yoshi game, Metroid Prime 4, Switch 2 edition, Fire Emblem, Hyrule Warrior, Tomodachi. Again, whether you like it or not, a lot of those games, you might not like it, but there are some that's gonna like those Nintendo games, man. Again, to some extent, a lot of people who are a Nintendo fan or a Nintendo console owner, they will be buying first-party game because they believe that it's always fun. Yes, no, well, it's up to you. Comes to the third party, at least it's there. One of them, Requiem, is parody, so you have to be proud of that one at least. But to some extent, really is, I don't know. Like, does it give me a reason really to get a Switch 2 if I didn't have one? Well, if it's casual, probably not. But the reason I really wanted one was, it wasn't really about the Switch 2 game. It was more of I need a better performance with my older games. That's it. A Switch Pro. Give me a Switch Pro. And I got it. And there you go. I mean, I'm playing a lot of, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's more enjoyable now because of the performance. That's it. But if you're talking about new games, Mario Kart World didn't really appeal to me too much. Bananza, I just finished it. I mean, I might go back to it. But, grab some banana. And, of course, Drag and Drive, really. World Tour, Welcome Tour, Switch 2, whatever. Glorified tech demo, bullshit. There's not even a Nintendo game on September except for the DLC. I mean, the next, I guess, big one is Pokemon ZA, but of course, that game's also on the Switch. Same goes with Metroid Prime 4. There's a Switch version. I think the only next Nintendo Switch 2 only is Hyrule Warrior, Age of Imprisonment, because they said, oh, we tried it in the Switch 1 and runs like crap. Yeah, Hyrule Warrior, Age of Calamity, at least it runs better 30 frame than in the Switch because, yeah, it runs like crap. So, a lot of this game right now, you're noticing, they're originally in the Switch that ported to the Switch 2 for better performance. It is what it is. Makes sense because Nintendo done this before. Super Paper Mario, people they know, was originally GameCube. They moved it on the Wii. I think there were even some game that they did it. I don't know which one, but it's been a long time ago. So there you go. Kind of long because, like I said, 1 hour because 40 minutes for the Nintendo Direct, 20 minutes for the Super Mario Brothers 40th anniversary. Makes sense. It is what it is. What can you do about it? So there you go, my thoughts about it. If I would give a grade, I would give it a B also. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's not good. You got stuff. There is first party, third party game, surprises, Virtual Boy, Amiibo to some extent, even though they're like expensive as hell. What can you do about it? It is what it is there. So that's my thoughts. It is what it is. I'm assuming their next General Direct is going to be February, like always. Yeah, the next one is going to be the Kirby Air Ride Part 2. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I watched the first one. It was boring as hell, man. Maybe I never really played Kirby Air Ride, so I don't know the significance about it. But that Direct was boring. If it was Super Smash Brother, probably a different story there. Just saying that. Anyway, with that, I'll see you guys later.